I think a giant common theme amongst all the people I talk to on this show, even if it's not like one of the main points they mention, but it just comes out in their own story, is the power of having that vision, that overarching goal that you just see in your mind that just gets you excited, right? And for a long time in my life, when I was 21, I had absolutely no vision. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was just making money. I was overweight. I was unhappy. And I was very low energy to the point where I would wake up in the morning and I would want to go right back to bed, right? I had nothing to look forward to. But once I experienced new things, which I think is a big part of this, and once I started to train new salespeople and speak to sales teams, I was like, wow, I really like doing this. So that's when I did something very similar to what you said. I went and found virtual mentors, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, all these big names. And I was like, dude, you can get paid to do this. I was like, this is what these people do for a living. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to inspire thousands of people. And that was when I was 21. I'm 28 now. And the podcast is here. Courses are here. Working with companies is here. Speaking. Like all these things have materialized because of the exact process that you just laid out there. Have the vision, be focused, stay aware, and audit yourself, which I want to dive into here in a minute. But for those listening, like, what is your vision right now? Like all these things that you're doing, what is the end goal? Even if it's the end goal of a specific chapter of your life, because let me ask you, Josh, like when you started BMX, what was your vision when you realized I'm going to take this thing all the way? Like what was your vision at that time?
Yeah, my vision was to do exactly what I saw, the guys doing on TV and the magazines and DVDs, or back then when it first started VHS tapes and things like that. And so the vision for me was like, I just want to be doing all that. I want to be competing. I want to be working with sponsors. I want to be traveling to compete and to film these video parts. And I want to be shooting photos for magazines and going on road trips. And I did all that and
Mm,
some that I never fathomed being possible, which was being friends with those people that I looked up to and considered heroes. I had posted them on my wall, been to countries that I never fathomed going to, which the average American isn't even allowed to go. You have to be invited by the government because of
wow.
certain religious, restrictions and things like that. And so I was just like, wow, like I did so much. And so when I left BMX, which was 2018, 19, I was no longer competing or performing professionally, maybe like a corporate performance opportunity here and there, but nothing full time. I didn't understand what that vision was. I couldn't see the future anymore of what my life was to look like or to experience. And that's where Dr. Joe's work came in really clutch for me at the moment, because I was like, rather than focusing on what I want to do, I know that that helped me when I was younger, but I also know the feeling it gave me. So let's focus on the feelings that I want to experience. And then let's see what
Mm,
inspires ideas of how I can feel that way. And so I was already pursuing, helping people with their mindset and their health as a coach. I was already experiencing being asked to speak and being paid to speak. I was already creating content. I was already working with brands. And this is after BMX. I was taking the same formula and applying it as a speaker and a coach. It's still what I do today. But I didn't have that clear vision. I didn't know what I was working towards, besides the fact that I said, I just want to help people. And so I
mm,
went through a depressed state for about 2 years. And it was actually my brother passed in 2018. So I felt obligated to ride for him because he wasn't here anymore. And I felt guilty if I didn't ride because, this person that I loved is no longer alive. Many other people are alive and not able. And here I am, trying to do something else, but I have an able body. And at that level, why should I not, why should I stop? Why shouldn't I, keep doing that? But it came down to that vision. And I was like, I felt lost for the first time in my life since I don't even know if I had a time where I didn't know what I was working towards, which is why I'm so focused on goals and progressing, because it keeps me moving forward. It draws me out of bed every day. It draws me towards something. So during that time where I was like, what does my future look like? I was already looking at it, but I didn't have the emotion attached to it. As a child, you're like, I want to do this. And like, you're getting excited about it. I was dealing with imposter syndrome, leaving the BMX world, and like, oh, I see myself speaking on stage. I see myself running a coaching business, but I felt inadequate. I felt
mm.
like an imposter. I felt lack. I felt stress. I felt like, who am I to do this? Or I believe like, I'm not good enough, like all these things. So that's where, the whole unconscious mind comes in, because I was dealing with all these negative emotions and limiting beliefs that were distorting the visibility for that vision with total confidence and excitement. So today I continue to work through it, but I hired a coach a couple of years ago to help me specifically with that aspect of my being and how to progress forward. So where today I can see myself like what we're doing right now is a part of that vision,
Yeah.
but also, once I get my books published, it's going out and speaking and creating my own speaking tour. Right now, one of my best friends and I are creating a joint venture of our coaching opportunity to move into the corporate world and helping them optimize their mindset and their health so they don't burn out. So that way they can be, optimized with their job and sales or whatever it is, but then also be present with their family and, save their energy for what really matters to them. But I also see myself, creating all these things to the higher up. If I want to be able to have my own nonprofit that raises money and directly funds families and individuals in need with anything to do with their brain, whether it be a TBI, be a mental health challenge, it'd be cancer, tumors, whatever. So it's like all these stepping stones that lead to this higher arching theme of like helping people. All of them have that, but I want to be able to. I hate the fact that we live in a society where people can't get good health coverage or can't get the support they need or can't get, these types of things because of money being a challenge. Because oftentimes it's not even the person's fault. They're born into that. I was born
Mm,
into a working class family that paycheck to pay bills. I don't even know how I got a bike. And I don't want the difference of someone getting to be healthy or not be the, money be the difference. So that's where my whole theme of like I love helping people see beyond their circumstances. If I have a nonprofit that's like, hey, you qualify because you're in need, you're going through this, so you're a good match, but also you want to better yourself, you want to better your life. Well, let's help you do that. You have to show up and do the work, but also let's give you that opportunity. I had people that gave me an opportunity, and I want to be able to do that for others. So that's my vision, is all these different stepping stones leading up to the higher one of the nonprofit, be able to give back in the manner that I see fit, which is helping people with what they're going through, whether it be medical care, it be their rent or their mortgage, or be, I can't fathom being where I was, but having a family to support at the same time.
mm,
Every time that I've gone through what I've gone through, even last year, which was a little different because of my fiance and I was either responsible for just myself, or even last year, my fiance and I share life together. And I can't imagine if we had kids, if I didn't have the business model I had to where I was still making money, but I wasn't having to go somewhere to earn that money. I
hmm
don't want someone to be going through that experience and be like, how are we going to pay our bills? How are we going to put food on the table for our kids because I can't work or their partner can't work? And that's a reality we live in today in America.